What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for our final, but not really final rebuild, but it's our final rebuild of rebuilding all 32 teams in the NFL. We have arrived to the reigning defending Super Bowl champion, the Kansas City Chiefs. Not only do they not need a rebuild because their team just won a Super Bowl, they don't need a rebuild because they're like the best team in Madden as well. They win all the time. It is what it is, but there are a lot of Chiefs fans on the channel, so I figure we got to give every single team, all 32 teams have earned their own rebuild, and it is time to finish with the 32nd of those teams here with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hope all you guys are having a great Easter weekend. I'm recording this on Thursday, and I'm not, honestly. I ordered my son for Easter a booster box of Pokemon cards. If you know what like a booster box, that's like 36 packs. Ordered it a week ago, and it's been like 2 days in a row of like it should be delivered today. And I don't think it's gonna get delivered. I think I'm gonna miss Easter. So right now I'm a little bit on edge. So if we don't get great results in this Chiefs rebuild, this is a Chiefs team that almost always goes on deep playoff runs when I'm simming as a team that's not the Kansas City Chiefs. And if this turns into one of those rebuilds where year one, year two, we're not playing well at all, I'm gonna get a little pissed off. So if you like seeing me get angry, there's a chance that the stars have aligned for that to happen. But this team is really good. Obviously, you have a cheat code at quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how he's not 99 overall. He is the best quarterback. And I think we're at a point in time right now where you can make a very legitimate argument that Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback that's ever played football. So we got that under help. You have Pop Pacheco, 7th round running back. Shouldn't have gone in the 7th round. I'm telling you, like, what is, like, he's like almost like he's like the Tariq Woolen. If you give me a player that's 215 pounds that runs a 4.3, I'm not drafting him in the 7th round. I'm not saying I'm getting this guy in the 2nd round, but if when you have these great athletes, you need to stop getting dogged late day 3 UDFA grade. If you are over 200 pounds and you're running 4.3s, you should go like in the 5th round minimum. But he ends up being a great bargain. You get Kadarius Toney, who they traded for from the Giants. He looks like he's going to rejuvenate his career here in Kansas City. Great player. Maybe a little bit of an idiot off the field. I say that as a Florida Gator fan that was very excited and loved watching him play. But, you know, wasn't shocked that necessarily things did not work out with the New York Giants. But now he's here in Kansas City. He's with Big Red. Should be able to get the most of him. You got Sky Moore, another young wide receiver. Travis Kelce. Just relentlessly unstoppable. Like it's a cheat code, Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Also, shout out to the New Heights podcast. Love that podcast. Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. I watch it all the time. Offensive line is pretty good. They paid big money to bring Jawan Taylor over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got Tooney, Humphrey, Smith. I do think, even though Niang has a dev trade, he's 66. Long ways to go. So I think that will be one of the spots we try to target here, potentially in the 1st round. One thing that also needs to be mentioned is that Creed Humphrey has a face scan, and my God, one of the best face scans in the game. Guy looks like as someone from Canada, that's how I picture everybody from Arkansas. Don't know. If you say you're from Arkansas, if you're someone in the comments, I'm from, like, that's what I think. I think of that. That's an awesome face scan. Looking at the defense, you got Kyle Aftis, but a great rookie season out of Purdue. He's going to have to probably be one of the guys that we're banking on that will develop nicely for us and will be a plug and play for however long this rebuild needs to go on for. You got Chris Jones, who's an absolute stud linebacking core. You got Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, and Leo Chenal. Outstanding athlete, Leo Chenal. If you watched our Pink Slip series, you know how goddamn good he is. We got Reed, McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed. We got Mike Edwards, who they signed in free agency from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's just a really, really solid team. And it's usually when you get a team like this, it's like, all right, well, they've sold the farm to have this good of a team, and they're gonna have any draft picks, or they're not gonna have any salary cap. We have like $50 million of salary cap, which we'll be able to spend whenever in this rebuild, year 2, year 3, whatever. And we have all of our draft picks still, so we're gonna be able to make a 1st round draft pick. And I'm gonna try and target maybe potentially wide receiver, depending on how the board looks. But I think right tackle, wide receiver. Could go defensive end on the other side of Karlaftis as well. Slot corner. Maybe even linebacker. We got a lot of options. That is our starting point right here at the 2023 NFL Draft. And let's just see how many Super Bowls we can win. Honestly, if we win one, because we've had a couple teams that I thought for sure we were going to win Super Bowls with in the last couple of rebuilds. We did win one with Dallas after going to 3 straight Super Bowls. Took us 3 times, but we eventually got it. But we did rebuilds with the Cincinnati Bengals. We did rebuilds with the LA Chargers. Both those teams were S-tier teams. Teams that easily should have been winning Super Bowls. And we didn't win any. So I was thinking about setting a goal of like, well, it's only a matter of time until we win a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe we don't count it unless we go 17-0. But let's at least get that first Super Bowl under our belt, and then we can start talking about can we build a team that can go undefeated. All right, Bijan Robinson just went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not gonna lie, if that happened, awesome. Awesome. I'm firmly a member of the Bijan Robinson to the Eagles camp. So we are now sitting here trying to figure out what direction we should go with the Kansas City Chiefs. We know the positions we want to get better at. Quentin Johnson is interesting. There actually is a lot of interesting options at wide receiver, knowing that he's still on the board. Anton Harrison at tackle. Looks like a first-round tackle. 3 Bs and an A. Could slide instantly to the right tackle spot. Does he have a dev trait, though? That's what makes it interesting. I did my scouting here on some guards, because I think Trey Smith, the right guard there, he played tackle in college. So we can get someone like Cody Mock, who looks 3 A's and a B. He also can play tackle. And then, you know, we could get flexible with Trey Smith. Darnell Wright's still there. That's actually, honestly, probably where we're going to go. Reunite him with Trey. That's the leader right now for where we're going to go with our first pick. I'll be honest. It's going to be tough to beat that. You know, you got Drew Sanders at linebacker. That's an interesting player. But we've used Drew Sanders within like the last couple of rebuilds. Secondary, Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. Really, we got some value here. Deontay Banks is a freak athlete, but Emmanuel Forbes, that is a tough call. Because, I mean, it's like a 1A, 1B. Darnell Wright, Emmanuel Forbes. We'll go Darnell Wright. I'll go Darnell Wright only because we compare him and Trey Smith back together like we're Tennessee 2020. But you got to think Emmanuel Forbes likely had a dev trait. Darnell Wright did not. And linemen just don't go. Unless he gets lineman of the year somehow, which is going to be very unlikely, he's going to be normal dev for this whole rebuild. He better be 75, 76 overall. So with Emmanuel Forbes slipping a little bit into the second round, I'm gonna make a trade here. Trade within the division. I'm going to give my second round pick, 64, and my 2 fourth-round picks. So luckily we still have our third-round pick. But a 2 and 2 fours to move up to pick 39 here in the second round, so that I don't have to just, you know, I will be annoyed if Emmanuel Forbes is stuck on normal dev. But he was likely going to go. And I just want, like, you know, we need that third corner. He's going to be able to be plug-and-play third corner. But he's also normal dev trait. Brutal! Third round, we're going to go with a guy who at one point in time was like the best wide receiver prospect in college football. Kayshon Boutte from LSU. You're going to get a perfect opportunity to reignite what I think still untapped talent. I think he's going to be one of the sleeper wide receivers in this year's draft class. No idea where he's going to go. Did not test particularly well. Is not coming out the best season with LSU. Has off-the-field concerns. But from what I've seen at LSU, if he can get back to his peak, he will. Put it this way, if he gets back to his peak, he's going to be the best value wide receiver pick wherever he goes. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, goes to the XFL. Wouldn't be shocked. But if he can put it all together again, the talent is there to be wide receiver 1 from this draft class. So here's a look at our draft haul. Both of our normal dev premier picks are 74 overall. 74 normal dev for Darnell Wright, 74 normal dev for Emmanuel Forbes. I do feel a little bit more optimistic that we can hit a dev trait scenario at some point during this rebuild with Emmanuel Forbes, as he will be starting day 1 for us as a rookie. Kayshon Boutte brings in a nice 71 rating. So at least, you know, when Bengals making these draft classes, he knows, he respects, he knows the potential that's in there in Kayshon Boutte. We got KJ Henry, former 5-star recruit, in the 5th round, 68 overall. Merriweather, 69 overall. We finished with Rajon Wright, corner out of Oregon State. But, you know, 2, potentially 3 rookie starters here from this Kansas City Chiefs draft class. Not a bad way to start this rebuild. Year 1 for a Kansas City Chiefs squad. Here are the changes. I'm not going to give Boutte the spot. I am going to push MVS down the depth chart. Just the upside. Sky Moore, normal dev. Boutte, normal dev. Let's see if we can get both these guys, put them in firing way, the lines of sight of Patrick Mahomes to just do his damn thing. He's going to get 50 touchdowns. Hopefully someone needs to catch him and let's give it to the young normal dev guys that might go up star dev. That's my whole thinking there. Darnell Wright's going to go at right tackle, so we have that Tennessee volunteer. They're volunteering the right-hand side of the offensive line to keep Mahomes upright. Defensively, nothing too crazy. I'm going to go Leo Chanel at outside linebacker, just maybe because of pink slips. I don't know. Emmanuel Forbes is going to be our corner number 3. He's going to play on the outside. We're going to have McDuffie in the slot. It's going to be Snead and Forbes on the outside. And let's just get a good vibe here. Let's test the waters out. How good? We know how good the Kansas City Chiefs are when we're not controlling them. How good are they going to be when it is our job to bring them to a Super Bowl and to win multiple Super Bowls and to maybe go 17-0? All right, teams just keep asking me to trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire every single time I'm a weekly to do, so it's time to just rip that Band-Aid off. We are sending him to the Carolina Panthers for a 3rd-round pick. It is Isaiah Pacheco's backfield. And to the surprise of absolutely no one, midway point of year 1, we're 7-2, running away with the division. Let's take a look at some contracts here. Just get a bigger picture at what the salary cap situation is here. But it's actually not the best for how many guys that I want to retain. Well, okay, so Tranquil and Edwards came in on like 1-year deals in free agency. I'm not going to get blinded by the dev traits. We will try to negotiate with Willie Gay. Thought he was a solid pick when they drafted him out of Mississippi State. L'Jarius Sneed was a great find for them. You want to kind of keep these guys in-house. We'll offer him a 4-year, $50 million deal. I think he has lockdown potential. Chris Jones is, an absolute superstar. I'm going to give him 4-year deal. Not worry about it. Don't even really care about the price point. Not losing an X factor like that. Not letting that leave the building. Don't care what the price is. So at the end of year 1, we go 14-3. We win the AFC West. Didn't get the first round bye, which kind of sucks. But you know what I will take? I don't know what this is going to be, but I'll take a breakout scenario that we could potentially hit in the playoffs over a first round bye. Take a look at the stats. How about let's play a game real quick. Mahomes is ridiculous. That's what he does. What team did Will Levis play for? 5,600 yards, 50 touchdowns. I'm not even gonna re-record this. I'll give $50 to someone that comments if that's not the Bucs. That's some team other than the Bucs that Will Levis is on. I will send $50. All right, carrying on. Strict that from the record. Mahomes was awesome. 5,400 yards, 48 touchdowns. It's what he does. 1,200 yards, 7 tutties there for Isaiah Pacheco. Travis Kelce just thrives. 1,400 yards, 10 tutties. Almost 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns for Kadarius Toney. And if you watched our Madden 23 Carolina Panthers franchise mode, you know how good Kadarius Toney is. Butte, 3rd-round pick, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. We'll take it. 867 and 6 from Sky Moore. Pacheco, 500 yards, 5 tutties at the backfield. All of our main weapons played pretty well. Over 100 tackles for Gay and Bolton. We got 7 sacks, Chris Jones, 7 sacks, Karlaftis, 6.5 for Chanel. Definitely, that's not bad for a D tackle. But we need Karlaftis to continue to elevate his game for sure. I would like to see also more interceptions. But at this point, we're just nitpicking. We were a very good team. Will Levis wins the MVP as a rookie because he's in Tampa Bay. Mahomes coming in at number 3 for the individual awards. Looking for some Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Thuney, offensive lineman of the year, but he's already on a superstar dev, so I don't think we're going to get any dev trait gained from that one. But it's fine. It's cool because, speaking of dev trait gains, we have a breakout scenario on the defensive line for Charles Omenihu. Interesting. A member of the 2023 free agency class. Would have loved that to be someone, Karlaftis. That'd be cool. But we got Omenihu here. Can we handle the Baltimore Ravens? Fuck off, man. I'll tell you right now, as we miss the dev trait scenario, this just feels like a rebuild that's going to follow in line with, say, the Bengals rebuild that we did last week, where it's just like, all right, my team just 12 wins minimum every season, and then we're just going to struggle immensely trying to find playoff success. First year, Kansas City, one and done against the Baltimore Ravens, like that would ever happen. To close out year 1 as it relates to dev trade, I was kind of hoping, Butte might go up, but it wasn't a ridiculous season. Definitely a learning moment that the slot wide receiver in the Chiefs playbook is not their dominant. It is the number 1 wide receiver and tight end. Kelce went off, Tony went off. Tony went from star to a superstar dev, and I think repeat performance likely we'll get to an X factor this week. But I thought Pacheco, combined with his rushing receiving numbers, his scrimmage yards, could have put him into dev trade scenario territory. But that wasn't the case. Defensive side of the football, Chris Jones lost his X factor. All right, that sucks. Now, going into free agency, we did lose some guys. So I'm not necessarily lose. We decided not to pick them up. We need D-tackle. Need a defensive end. Nick Bosa. I'm just kidding. Nick Bosa is always here. And I get boring. Nick Bosa, Rashawn Gary, always there. So I want to get some of that, I think we've only signed maybe once before. And he definitely fits what the Kansas City Chiefs want. We need a safety. Antoine Winfield Jr., kind of like that Honey Badger role, which, he thrived in Kansas City before he cashed out and then went to the Saints. And I don't know, I guess he's just on the Saints now. I don't even know if he's playing anymore. So yeah, we're going to get Antoine Winfield into our secondary. That's a big get for us. All right, first round, we pick at 24. Hopefully there's, we had a couple guys that I was keying in on here. I really hope my pass rusher's still here. There's a pass rusher, Foster, that looked really good. Of course, he's gone. Fucking awesome. Alrighty. Gonna need a pivot. Classic mock draft. Need to pivot. Now, I did actually like this D-tackle as well. Mac Gibson out of South Carolina. Double B, double C, elite strength. Usually that, when you get 42 reps on the bench press, that's going to be like 95, 96 strength. I'm intrigued. And we do need to find another defensive tackle. There's some good players also in other rounds. I like Marquis Aldridge, second, third round. Get the double A and a B. I always kind of wish we didn't go Emmanuel Forbes because I like the look of this guy too. Look at this, Marcus Booker, 6'3", 3 Bs and a C, and he has 4.3 speed. That would be my pick if we didn't have 3 corners that I think are going to be here long term, right? Emmanuel Forbes, Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, like those there. If I could just build around that room, those are going to be my 3 corners. So it'd be a waste of a pick here getting Booker. So it really does come down to who is going to be the best defensive tackle because we can't get straight up pass rush. We have Corey Barmore, and full respect for not putting the E in Corey. One of the biggest pet peeves in my entire life. We just don't have as much information, right? Like, I'm not too worried about the finesse move because if he's a power guy, what's that tackle? That tackle C, it's probably not going to be the best. Yeah, we're going to go Matt Gibson. Matt Gibson is going to be our option. We're going to add a nice defensive tackle here to slot in next to Chris Jones. Let's not have a fucking dev trade. Come on. Now I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Booker's still there in the second round. So unless that double A, he's still there. Aldridge, what's his combine? If he has a great combine, elite speed, I'm just going to have to draft him. Just because there's more questions at linebacker, potentially with our, Leo Chenal, a little bit of a project guy. Maybe he's not going to pan out. Maybe move him to pass rusher. Aldridge, hidden dev. Let's go. How is he still here? Booker is still in this draft. Here we go. Take him. Don't even need him. Please be hidden dev. How is this guy? Okay, normal dev. How is he falling? How is a 6'3" with those stats falling out of the first round? Attitude issues? Makes no sense to me. And take a look at our draft recap. Yeah, just a 74 corner that we were considering in the first round. Was still there in the third. Aldridge, 73 hidden dev. Gibson, 74 normal dev. I got a 71 running back here. Justin Addison to be RB2. We got a 71 D tackle. Sidney Baker out of Oregon State. But weren't really blessed with the dev traits here in our first generated draft class. But I mean, Aldridge looks really good. So for year 2 of our Kansas City Chiefs rebuild, we almost have to hype up almost every season being like, there's a chance we can go 17-0. We are going to just alter the depth chart a little bit. I'm going to put Butte at wide receiver 2, Sky Moore wide receiver 3. Not much else is going to change on the offense. Defensively, I kick Leo Chenal down to pass rush, so that frees up a spot for Aldridge to contribute right away as a rookie. Rest of the depth chart remains exactly the same. Oh yeah, forgot the addition of Antoine Winfield Jr., who's now a 90 overall free safety. Should be a big-time game changer for that secondary. Hey, let's just not be one and done in the playoffs. Maybe 17-0 might be a little far-fetched, might be a little tough, especially with this many normal dev players, right? But just don't be one and done, right? You're Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Midway point of year 3, and this is the worst record I may have ever seen the Chiefs have. Fitting, right? That once we're playing as the Kansas City Chiefs, we don't have a top 10 offense, and we have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I appreciate Madden giving us the nice roll of the dice that this is going to be difficult and not a cakewalk. So let's take a look at some contracts here. We got Creed Humphrey. Let's get him locked in for the remainder of the rebuild. 3 years, $37.5 million. Nick Bolton, our superstar linebacker. We'll probably have to give him a player-friendly deal to get him to sign, which we do 6 seasons. Hopefully he doesn't lose that depth traits. Trey Smith at right guard was a home run pick. I'm not going to lie. Hey, I'll tell you right now, if I was the general manager, I would have picked Trey Smith in the same round. All right? Give me the keys to a franchise. Would have done it. Kadarius Toney, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't have picked Kadarius Toney in the first round. And I'm a die-hard Florida Gator fan. Second round, you know, with the off-the-field character concerns, sure. But he's so good in Madden, man. Who cares, right? Who cares if he's an asshole? He's going to be great. He's going to be lively for this franchise. And his connection with Patrick Mahomes gives us someone else that's not Travis Kelce to throw the football to. Threw out an olive branch here to Justin Reed. Kind of threw the contract offer right back in our face. So I'm thinking he could suck it, and we'll find someone else that can play safety. If you said C4, you're hyping up 17-0. Well, I'll do you one better. This is the first time in any Madden franchise mode that the Chiefs have gone below 500. We went 8-9 somehow. We had a weekly award winner here, week 18. Probably someone on the defense. L'Jarius Sneed, 10 tackles, pick 6. Good for him. Yeah, literally the worst record I've ever seen the Chiefs have in a sim. Mahomes was, by Mahomes standard, pretty average. Pacheco was solid. You know what happened though? And this pissed me off. And this is a big issue, right? You go on Twitter, you go on the Reddit. The fucking, pardon my French, but it deserves a swear to let you know how serious I am, because we're probably gonna lose the goddamn dev trade for Kadarius Toney. Is the depth chart reset? I don't know how it happened. I don't have injuries on, but at some point, all of the hard work. Like, look, Butte was my wide receiver too. He didn't get a fucking catch. I put him in a position to go up dev trait to be a breakout player. Maybe it's my fault for not taking it, but you know what? You know what? I walk it back. It's not my fucking fault. I set my depth chart, and the game God damn it. Defensively, 100 tackles for both Gay and Bolton again. From the sack standpoint, 12.5 from Chris Jones. Outstanding. Hopefully he'll get his X factor back. Karlaftis, not the best. Interceptions dropped though. 4 picks, Justin Reed, of course, because he's bouncing to free agency. But 4 for McDuffie, 4 for L'Jarius Sneed. I will take that happily. Good numbers there. Yearly awards MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. And then looking for some cans. I don't even think we're going to have anyone. This was an incredibly... Oh, I take that back. Trey Smith gets lineman of the year. Creed Humphrey number 2. But that could be a dev trade. Trey Smith on that star dev. That could be a superstar dev. We could have 2 on the offensive line. Both our guards. Superstar dev. That'd be a silver lining on what is the worst sim season I've ever seen the Chiefs have ever. And in closing, we lost the superstar dev for Kadarius Toney. We did gain the superstar for Trey Smith, getting lineman of the year. I don't know if that's... I'd rather Kadarius Toney have his dev trait, but a good offensive line goes quite a bit. Chris Jones got his X factor back. We did lose the superstar on Nick Bolton. Allridge was our hidden dev rookie from the class. He popped with a star dev, but we got double superstars now at corner. Both Sneed and McDuffie are up to superstars after their 4 interception seasons. We'll take it. Yep, absolute stink show of the best free agent is Sonrick. He's 30 years old. There's a certain I guess our team right now is definitely at a spot where, let's win now. Let's get these guys that are 30. I just can't. I don't know. It's something. It's like ingrained in my mind for rebuilds that we're going into year 3. I don't know if I can commit to get a bunch of old guys, because if we were below 500 in year 2, this might take the full 5 years. We might need to get a bigger game changer, and that just doesn't exist right now. So we're gonna sit this one out. Hopefully have a big draft, because we need a safety. We need potentially a pass rusher. Looking for a game changer at wide receiver still. Let's hope we have a good draft, and hopefully next year's free agency period, because we're obviously going to roll over almost $50 million of salary cap, has a big superstar, an X factor type player that we can go and grab. All right, so going to the draft, pick 14. That's about 14 picks higher than I ever thought I was going to be selecting here. We need wide receiver, we need safety, we need pass rush. And the wide receivers, not much in the first round. We got Greg Morton, 6'5", 216 with a catching. 4.41 is actually not too bad. He has elite strength, which you would expect, but that's a tough sell. Elton Burke out of USC, another big-bodied guy, 6'3", A catching. Rest stats pretty bad, but he does have elite acceleration, and he has what you're looking for in the 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle. Wide receiver's so tough, man. Anytime, put it this way, you almost want to draft the wide receivers that don't have the good stats. I always find the guys that, like, if you get a guy that's like all C's and D's, he'll still be like a 76 hidden depth. So, I mean, we'll put a pin in this one. Look at what we got for the rest of the draft. Of course, the top run stuffer, the top pass rusher is a run stuffer. We do have Marcus Allen. I don't know. It's not looking good. What do we got? Safety. I think safety's a little bit better. We got Devontae Griffin. 3 Bs and a C. 5'11", 213. Combine, not bad. Would love to see maybe something a little elite there. We got Desmond Booker out of Wisconsin. B tackle, B hit power. Ooh, 4.36 at safe. Okay, I'm intrigued. I think he has the pole position right now. For the rest of these, I mean, there actually looks to be some fairly solid. Let's look at the top guy here. Time is running down. This is how it's just, I just get on with the pick. Oof. Okay, we're gonna go with the other safety here. Desmond Booker, Wisconsin. Just have a dev trait, please. Just please. Thank you. Thank you. And honestly, the draft board shot. You just go best player available. Try to stack it. I'll highlight this guy, Tyler Temple. 3 A's. Combine, outstanding. Elite agility, change of direction, jumping. Let's bring him in. Looking at our draft recap. Booker, 76 hidden dev. Temple, 73 hidden dev. We got a 74 tight end, Braden Stanley. You know, Kelsey's not getting any younger, so he's a nice little scheme fit. Don't have to worry about losing the dev trait, because obviously he's not playing until it's a break class. Kelsey retired unsuspectingly in the offseason. But I'll take, especially in Booker's case, that's outstanding. Day one starter for us right there. Almost better than anybody that was available in free agency. So year 3 for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know what? We've had some mixed results in terms of win-loss. This year might still be a little rough because, again, on the offensive side, weren't able to add a whole lot of pieces. Like, we're going to have to rely on Sky Moore and Boutte. Hopefully the depth chart doesn't get reset again. Really, one of those guys stepping up would be awesome. But again, we're just getting bad roles in free agency. We're not really getting presented the opportunity to take this team to another level and being able to maximize our budget. But the defense, I think the defense will take another step up. We got Booker here at strong safety. He looks like he's going to be a stud. We have McDuffie and Snead, both now superstars. Leo Chanel gets an outright start at pass rush to see if he can elevate his game, much like Moore and Boutte on the offensive side of the ball. So I think the defense is going to be better. And as long as we have Patrick Mahomes on offense, I think he'll get this one right. I think we'll be back in the playoffs. So the midway point of year 3, back on track, 9-2, sitting atop the AFC West, which is exactly what we want to see. We have the top 5 defense, top 5 offense. We have Travis Kelce, who we need to make sure retires a Kansas City Chief, locking him up for 2 more seasons. That's likely what is going to happen. Joe Tooney, same. We're going to offer him a 2-year deal, $32 million. You don't have a whole lot of salary cap to be playing around with because, you know, we do hope at some point we'll be able to hit free agency and be aggressive in free agency, but also need to make sure we keep into our, you know, our ethos of rebuilding, which is trying to keep our homegrown talent when we can. Like, if we let Pacheco walk, he's going to be the best available running back on that open market. So I want him to stick around. I think Sky Moore and like Leo Chanel, 2 guys that are currently starters, we'll reevaluate at season end, see how well they played. Does it look like they're going to get a dev trait? Because if not, we're probably going to have to jump off that ship and see if we can get an upgrade. But we'll definitely come back and get this Pacheco contract over the line next week. Year 3 finishes out pretty dominant, 14-3. Number 7 offense. We had 10 passing, which is weird. I thought, you know, you'd always have with Mahomes a little bit better. But again, our wide receivers are lacking in X factor. Literally and figuratively. We have the number 1 overall defense in the NFL, so shout out Steve Spagnuolo. Looking at how we got here, Mahomes is pretty good. Top 10, you know, he probably played like a top 5 quarterback, even though he should be playing like top 1. 4,800 yards, 40 touchdowns for him. Pacheco was outstanding, 1,600 yards, 19 touchdowns. He could be in line for a dev trade increase. Kelce, ageless wonder. Boutte went 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, so that's nice. Almost 1,008 for Kadarius Toney, 8-5 for Sky Moore. So yeah, he's probably going to get the short end of the stick, Sky Moore, in terms of contracts. I think Toney, Boutte, and then we get someone else upgrade at wide receiver. Maybe that's going to be the plan. But again, we got to get a good role in terms of free agency. Ulrich and Bolton, both over 100 tackles. 15 sacks, Chris Jones. 11 from Leo Chanel. Karlaftis, only 5. He's developed nicely, but he's not playing the best. Like, he's up to an 85 overall, which is great. But I don't even think he's had double-digit sacks at any point in this rebuild. Steed and McDuffie, both getting 4 picks, which is great. They were our superstar duo at corner. Will Levis, because the Bucks is the MVP. And looking through here for some Kansas City Chiefs, what do we have? No award winners? Okay. Bold decision. That's fine. We might have, like, just the best record. Don't give us our flowers. Don't believe in us as a franchise. Guess that we're going to be one and done to the Tennessee Titans here in year 3. We're going to flip the script. We're going to win 33-30. We're going to take on the Jets in the conference championship with the Super Bowl on the line. We're going to sneakily sneak into the Super Bowl against said overpowered Bucks. And we are going to win the Super Bowl here in year 3. Tell you what, though, unlike the Dallas Cowboy rebuild we did, we're going 5. This is a 5-year rebuild. If we win this Super Bowl year 3, I'm still wanted, like, because it's Kansas City, because, you know, I think I think if I could spend that money, that available salary cap that we still have, that might be able to put us in that spot to go 17. Like, I want to go 17 now. The aspirations are a little bit bigger than just winning a Super Bowl. So we're tied 10-10 here in the first. Kind of, you know, anything they do, we'll match it. But they settled for a field goal before the end of the first half. We get the touchdown, miss the extra point, but opening drive of the second half, we're able to march down the field and score 23-16, 25-16, a safety. Just really weird scoring across the board. But I'll take weird scoring as long as the number next to the Kansas City Chiefs names keeps rising up. And it took a little longer than expected, if I'm being completely honest. It took us 3 seasons to win our first Super Bowl. But in a battle of the cheesy, overpowered, stupid playbooks of Madden 23, the Kansas City Chiefs pass Will Levis, MVP Will Levis, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl in year 3. But we still have bigger goals, bigger aspirations. Year 4, year 5, we're going to be trying to chase the undefeated season. We've had, what, I think 14 or 15. Have we got 15 wins yet? I've recorded this rebuild over 2 days, so my memory's not the best, trying to remember what we did yesterday. But, you know, we've had big time seasons. We've had enough seasons that if we get a roll, goes our way once or twice, like we might be, you know, 17-0 is in the cards. I think if we can add this offseason 1 or 2 absolute game changers on the offensive and or defensive side of the ball, it's going to be in play. But there is yet again another Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. Big Red, Travis Kelce here in year 3. How do we respond and follow up year 4? Let's find out. As I'm going to assume, looking at that, Mahomes got himself another Super Bowl MVP. I was just looking through my roster, just dev traits. I was like, oh, I kind of forgot to preview that before the Super Bowl. Booker, who I saw was a star dev. He was our first round pick. He went up to superstar, but he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Look at that. He just got it Super Bowl week. For winning the Super Bowl? Cool. So we kind of rolled in the free agency. I wanted a game changer, 1 or 2. One ideally. If we get a perfect role, it would have been a wide receiver, which we have here in George Pickens. We're going with a massive offer to try to get him locked in early. Another one would have been edge, and literally the best edge was likely like Leo Chanel, who we let walk. Like Hubbard, ugh. On that side, other side, Grady Jarrett, super old. You know, start going down. Or Leo Chanel looked like the best in terms of age and where he's at. I thought maybe about David Ajabo, because he does at least have the dev trait. But what I'm thinking is, you know, this is about that time where we could start trying to, if we can find that S-tier draft prospect, just kind of sell out to go up and get him. So hopefully there's a freaky edge rusher in this year's draft class. If not, you know, save this remaining $38 million, have it roll over into year 5, and maybe there'll be a big-time edge rusher to go for that undefeated season in year 5, if that's our missing piece. So we've done our scouting for the pass rushers in this year's draft class, and they're overrated. Look, 2 top 5 pass rushers and their first, second-round talent. I think the best-looking player, which we likely will try, I'm going to try to trade up for, is probably going to be Justin Pierce. In terms of athleticism, the ratings aren't the best. A finesse move, C block shed, C tackle. But he's really the only guy that has anything in an elite category. He has elite acceleration, elite change of direction, which, you know, you kind of want to see that, which is, you know, the 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle, which are kind of ticking out the boxes of what you want to look for a top player. Everyone else is relatively, you know, whelming I like Herrera here potentially as well as a speed rusher. He is the 3Bs across the board and is a scheme fifth, but he only has elite jumping, which, 4.7 for a pass rusher. That's like 240. I want to see a little bit more out of you. And then a right outside linebacker. I mean, again, the top players we did our home. Like, it's just not a strong pass rush class. So when you're picking at guys that have, like, well, he has an A and he's elite. He's an elite speed rusher. You're kind of just gambling that there's going to be a good dev trait there. Didn't matter anyways. They're all off the board. That Pierce guy was projected like the last, like, he went like top 5. So I guess we'll go with the big boy that has good stats in bad combine. Alex Stapleton, A block shed, B power move, A tackle, but everything else not the best. You know what though, for a guy his size, the 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle is not that bad. It's not brutal, and he brings a lot of good power to the table. It's not a bad consolation prize, even though not exactly what we look for. I don't think he's going to be that much of a game changer, but he's a good pick. And take a look at a draft recap. 73 hit a dev, not bad. He's got to start for us as a rookie. So, I mean, from that, maybe, a dev trade increase potentially, because he's going to be in prime position to get a defensive rookie of the year nod. I do want to take a look at Pierce. What I thought was going to be a value pass rusher, he ended up going 8. He's only a 74. Maybe I was wrong. He's pretty fast, though. Got that 88 acceleration. He's got outstanding get off. What's the dev? Star? Superstar? Superstar? All right. At least we would have been right if we could have traded up for him. He would have been great. So our final goal of an undefeated season went down the shitter week 2. So let's just keep on keeping on. And we're starting to run away with the division here. 9-2. Coming out after our bye. Let's take a look at some contracts here. Who do we want to run the full rebuild? Trent McDuffie for sure. He's been pretty much copy and paste, a guy you can rely on for 4 interceptions. And if I'm only going to be able to sign one right now, it's going to be McDuffie. So that means Karlaftis, Jawan Taylor, Manuel Forbes, Butte. All guys I'd like to keep for sure. But there is a thing called the salary cap. And unless we get a big time increase, like we might be able to get Butte and Forbes back. I don't think we're going to have enough salary cap. Even with, like, we might be a, $10, $15 million once it goes up in the offseason. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near the area code for a Kalafdis or Jawan Taylor we're signing. That's pretty damn close, finishing 15-2. So 2 wins away from what I really want to try to set it. We're the number 2 offense, number 1 defense. And now, obviously seeing the guys and seeing where our salary cap's at, it's going to be tough. This might have been our last chance at an undefeated season because our roster is going to take a hit this offseason as we do look to become back-to-back Super Bowl champions year 3 and year 4 of this 5-year rebuild. First round bye, we kick off the divisional round against a team that's barely above 500, 9-8 Pittsburgh Steelers. Feel like we can handle them. Take a look at our stats this year. Mahomes, pretty good, 5,100 yards, 41 touchdowns. 1,200 yards, 18 touchdowns for Pacheco. Superstar running back here, really finishing up this rebuild strong. I mean, what an awesome player. Much as I'm salty about the Chiefs beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl in real life, what they got in Pacheco, I mean, we talked about the top. He's the underrated, not talked about Tariq Woolen. We're just like, can we just stop letting fast athletes just fall? Because it's all it takes is a good coach to know how to maximize those guys, and then everyone else looks like an absolute idiot. So Pacheco playing well is awesome. Kelsey, dominant. Butte, 11-8. 11-6 from George Pickens, our new wide receiver 1. Tony was solid. On the defensive side, we had over 100 tackles for Nick Bolton. 12 sacks, Chris Jones, 9 from Karlaftis. Of course, Karlaftis has his only remotely good season. The year that I can't pay to keep him here. Jerry Sneed led the team, 5 interceptions. He's been very good and very consistent throughout this rebuild. Joe Burrow is the MVP. Patrick Mahomes coming in at number 5. And taking a look for some Kansas City Chiefs. Damn it, man. I thought Stapleton might have had a chance. Comes in at number 4, defensive rookie of the year voting. And then for the rest of the awards, ooh, that's something, right? Kicker. Put some respect on the kicker, man. Who needs Harrison Butker? All right, first round of the playoffs. Pittsburgh Steelers, we handle business 31-23. We got the Bengals. They're a tough assignment. They're a good team. But Get out of our way. We just get out of our way. We're the #2 offense, #1 defense for a reason. We're the defending Super Bowl champions, and this firmly looks like the best two teams in the NFL as Super Bowl. I don't know what number this would be, but it says Miami is going to be between the 15-2 Chiefs, 14-3 Giants. Let's make it 2 in a row. I don't know. Is if we can win like 3 Super Bowls in a row, will that make me feel better about not getting an undefeated season? If that doesn't hit next year, maybe. 3 Super Bowls in a row is pretty ridiculous. Back-to-back even is really difficult to do. So let's see. And we're talking like we're going to win for sure. We're down right now. We are battling against a good Giants team. And the Giants have been a sneaky sim team. Last couple of rebuilds. I don't know what happened in the update. Maybe it's because Brian Dable won Coach of the Year. They decided to make his playbook unstoppable. But we've seen some ridiculous numbers by average quarterbacks in the Giants. I've seen Tyrod Taylor win the MVP for the Giants. But we're reminding them, we're letting them know that at the end of the day, Madden 21, Madden 22, Madden 23, probably Madden 24, that the Kansas City Chiefs are unstoppable. If they get on a little bit of a roll, they are the best team. They are, and they probably should be. If there's going to be any team that you roll your eyes at with how good they are in franchise sim, in Madden, probably should be the Chiefs. You know, when you see the Bucks are a little weird, especially because, you know, Brady's gone now and, like, you know, they haven't had a whole lot of success really over the last 2 years. But the Chiefs are just always good. So if there's going to be the final boss, unstoppable juggernaut type team, they at least pick the right one in Kansas City. But when you get like Dallas and in Tampa, I don't know, are the Saints still like that? I don't know if the Saints are, but like, you know, there's some weird teams that shouldn't be good. But luckily for this Chiefs rebuild, as expected, multiple Super Bowls, 2 in a row as Mahomes wins back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, as we all look towards trying to maintain this team's talent level this offseason, going into year 5. We have no salary cap. We're going to lose some guys for sure, so we're going to have a huge draft. And going undefeated year 5 and winning a 3rd straight Super Bowl. That is the plan. I saw my salary cap jump up considerably when I simmed to the offseason. I was like, all right, who retired? Joe Thuney retired, so we're losing a superstar offensive lineman. That's another thing that we're going to have to fucking deal with. But that did give us at least a little bit of wiggle room here. See if we can keep Karlaftis. Let's go 3 years, 4 years. We'll bump that up to 6.2, 8.5. Fuck you, buddy. What about you, Jawan Taylor? Do you like winning Super Bowls? He does. Jawan Taylor understands. He could buy into the plan. I mean, if Forbes takes that deal, it's just one last position we have to worry about. So really, we're going to be going in needing a pass rusher and a wide receiver. So for free agency, we're able to handle business a little bit. So we lost Joe Thuney. So I went and got Paris Johnson at left tackle. He also played a lot of guard at Ohio State. So we'll get some flexibility there. We'll figure out the best combination. But likely we'll be keeping Jawan Taylor at tackle, kicking Paris Johnson in the left guard, completing our offensive line once again. And then we got ourselves a pass rusher, superstar pass rusher, Felix Anudike Uzama, superstar out of Kansas State. He's not going to play outside linebacker for us. We'll kick him down there on the D-line. So that really means we're going into the draft. A wide receiver 3 is probably the only starter that I need to find. Yeah, we're ready. So in needing a wide receiver, looking at the draft, not the best draft class. You're not seeing someone that's like, yes, that's going to be our guy. But I think the best of the bunch might be the most attainable of the bunch, which is Morris Beck, 6'4", 227, out of Ole Miss. He's a scheme fit, A, catching traffic, B, release, C, catching, elite jumping, 4.3 speed. Doesn't look strong, but hey, we're just looking for a wide receiver 3. That guy can definitely make some plays with that athletic profile. So with the 2 wide receivers that were ahead of Beck just going off the board, got to move up. Got to get pick 15 from the Baltimore Ravens, setting our first round this year, our first round next year. I'm not even going to worry about it. Hey, that's what we do. That's the one unrealistic thing that we'll do. Just try to make it fun. We're trying to chase something here that's very difficult to do. And we're going to be able to get Morris Beck, wide receiver, Ole Miss. And we just traded 2 first-round picks for a fucking normal dev wide receiver. Let's go. Well, at least he pulled in a pretty decent rate. Ooh, get a nice 74 running back there at a Navy. But I'll take 75 with our boost here for Morris Beck. That could be more than good enough for a wide receiver 3. Year 5, all or nothing for the undefeated season here. We are two-time back-to-back Super Bowl champions, so it's not all doom and gloom, but I want that undefeated season. And looking at the offense, I mean, Patty's still Patty. Kelsey's still Kelsey. The offensive line is elite. 84, 89, 97, 94, 87. Across the board, best offensive line in the NFL. Pacheco's been incredible in this rebuild. 95 superstar for him. We did lose George Pickens superstar dev last season, but Pickens, Tony still is an excellent 1-2 punch with Kelsey as your third option. And then we got Beck in the first round here. Hopefully he surprises. I mean, athletically speaking, he's outstanding. Defensively, we got ourselves a new pass rusher. Well, you definitely could make the argument that, you know, it's definitely still the Chris Jones show on the defensive line, and I'm not too sure where our sacks are going to come from this season. Linebacking core, very solid. Nick Bolton, outside shot, maybe with the boost to get to the 99 club here in this rebuild. Booker, superstar. Winfield, 93. We got Snead and McDuffie, who've been excellent in this rebuild so far, and Forbes still doing his damn thing, being a part of our first draft class, still sticking around as that corner 3. Let's go, man. Undefeated, 17-0. Do you want to make history, Kansas City? I don't know if we've ever had an undefeated season yet. I feel like we might have had one before at some point during this rebuild. The fact that I can't remember it wasn't that memorable. I would remember this one. At least our hopes made it a little bit longer here in year 5. Undefeated season goes down the shitter. Week 5, losing to the Chicago Bears 27-21. Damn. And our final year continuing as the juggernaut that we are. 96 offense, 93 overall, top 5 offense, number 1 defense, 14-3 in AFC West title. Another one. We're just collecting them all at this point. Feels you've become numb to your success. Mahomes was ridiculous. 5,000 yards passing, 51. He might just finish this with another MVP. Pacheco, outstanding, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. George Pickens, wide receiver, 1. Kelsey, I mean, this guy's regressed from a 99 down to, what is he, 82? 83? Doesn't matter. Still an animal. Doesn't matter. Tony was solid. Moore's back for a rookie, being the 4th receiving option. That's a hell of a year. 800 yards, 9 touchdowns for him. Pacheco was dynamic out the backfield. Happy with that, honestly. Outside of not getting the perfect season, we've played very well. And look at that. Brand new pass rusher, 13.5 sacks. Where were you? Missed you this whole rebuild. 9 sacks for Chris Jones. But maybe we're just being held back by Karlaftis, potentially. Snead and Allridge, 4 picks. But Snead, man, interceptions have been great. We'll take a look at the full rebuild stats here after we look at the yearly awards to see if Mahomes got himself another MVP. And no, it's the fucking Bucks. Come on, why the Bucks? Why always the Bucks? 51 touchdowns should get you the MVP in today's NFL. In this Madden, right? We got Pickens wide receiver of the year, which will be good for him. I mean, if we can go to the Super Bowl, he'll likely go back up to a superstar dev, even though that doesn't really mean a whole lot in game. Looking at our career stats for this rebuild, outside of whatever we get this playoff run, meaning more so our 3rd Super Bowl, Mahomes is sitting on 49,000 yards passing, 400 touchdowns to 4-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's pretty good, huh? We got 7,500 yards, 81 touchdowns for Pacheco. Great. We have 16,000. I might have to look at the all-time, where Kelsey stacks up all-time. 1,300 receptions, 16,000 receiving yards, 122 touchdowns is pretty absurd. Obviously, Pickens did a lot of that with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 5,600 yards, 51 touchdowns for Tony, who did most of that with us. Pacheco, 20 touchdowns, 2,600 yards. So what? He's almost close to 10,000 from scrimmage. 915 tackles from Nick Bolton. 110 sacks, 99 TFLs for Chris Jones. We got 27 interceptions from L'Jarius Sneed. Some of the best interception numbers we've seen quite some time for our rebuilds. But we got to see, where does Kelsey stack up in a season? Oh, look at just what they say. We did a 5-year rebuild. 5 years. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then McKee there at 5. All 5 seasons, there was a Bucks quarterback. Just change the play. Make the playbooks mean less in Madden 24. That's certainly on the top of my list of things that I want to see. Let's see, receiving yards. Kelsey. Wow, he didn't make it. Oh, that's in a season. Sorry, career. Let's correct this. Looking for career, people. Kelsey, 3rd. See the tight end, 3rd all time, firmly passing Tony Gonzalez for the greatest tight end of all time conversation. You know, if you put him, and honestly, if he plays another season, he would be second all time for a tight end. Pretty absurd. He is up there as well. 4 total touchdowns with a $122, just one behind Davante Adams. And again, if you played one more season, like you know, Marvin Harrison, Davante Adams, Chris Carter, they're in your sights. He could finish top 5 all time in all of those major categories. So outstanding from Kelsey, who's just an absolute cheat code as we look to see if somehow, some way, if we can win 3 straight Super Bowls, do I feel as fulfilled as I would have going 17-0. It starts with a divisional matchup here. And that's anticlimactic. We fall 28-21 to the dead. That's how this rebuild, 2-time Super Bowl champion, ends. And the quarterback we lost to had 185 yards. They just ran all over us. I mean, kind of. Yeah, they gotta go 1-2. Aaron Jones, Javonte. Well, you know what? We'll give him that. 3 rushing touchdowns, 100 yards. Damn it! But overall, not a failure of a rebuild. 2 Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not gonna gloat about that. There's a reason why this was the final rebuild of the year, because they're the best team and it was expected to win multiple Super Bowls. I suppose what did I learn from this? I learned that we had that one year that we were 9-8 or whatever, or 8-9. That happens. You know, I didn't think that was possible with the Kansas City Chiefs. We learned that, you know, a lot of rebuilds could be dictated by the role you get in free agency. There was probably year 2, year 3 where there was just nothing available for us to really make that big stride, that big time upgrade. We went how many seasons with like average wide receivers? No disrespect to Kadarius Toney, no disrespect to Kayshon Boutte and Sky Moore, but you know, you got to wonder if we got an X factor role. I don't know what popular wide receiver would have been available. If we got a better role at wideout, would that undefeated season been a little bit more attainable potentially? And then you look at the defensive side. Never had a prolific pass rush. You know, that'd be something that, you know, we finally got a little bit here out of Uzuma, who we got him just for a mercenary role, 1-year type deal. But if we would have been able to get more production of Karlaftis, who should have been, I mean, he was almost a 90 overall. He just never got double-digit sacks. If we could have figured out the pass rush sooner and got a X factor at wide receiver sooner, that might have been, you know, the difference. That might have been the missing combination for us to go on and get that 17-0. But still a successful rebuild here, and we have successfully rebuilt all teams at least once in the NFL, all 32. But that's not going to be the end of the rebuilds. We'll figure out some more fun, unique style rebuilds that we'll be able to do. If you have any suggestions of rebuilds that you want to see, scenarios that you want to see, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. But that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a great long weekend. Hope the Easter Bunny finds you, if that's what you're still about. Or if you're a parent like myself, hope you have hope your kids love it. Egg hunt, all that good shit. And I'll see you guys. I don't know if I'll have an upload this weekend. I might just take it easy. But also, maybe stay tuned to the secondary channel, more C4, because I am gearing up to do a lot more draft content. My Patreon, I'm going to finish this weekend. That's my goal this weekend. I want to finish my offensive draft rankings on my Patreon. I'm still going to do the wide receivers, but quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, and offensive line is up right now. Wide receivers, I want to get that up this weekend. And then once all of the offense is going to be up, obviously I'm going to go to the defense. But once all the offense is up, I'm going to start making videos, kind of ranking some certain positions, trying to shill the old Patreon there just a little bit. Because you even get it with the $2 tier, which is the lowest tier. It's a great way to go above and beyond to support my channel. You get access to that just to see what I'm thinking about for this year's draft class. But either way, fellas, that'll do for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.